I fumbled. In the last video, I mentioned this.
Another pair that I was looking at today was GBPCAD from this region here. If we look down on the 4-hour, we have bearish order flow, and on the fundy side of things, GBP showing some weakness on the COT and bearish intent, whereas CAD showing some strength. Longs were up, and it was on the bottom left, meaning potential shorts on the CAD where possible. Potential false shorts, that was. GBP is very strong on the day. Not strong fundamentally, but GBP does love trading edges, so that's something to take note of.
Maybe the GBP shorts happen later this week.
Let's get right to the trading session.
One thing that I'm also looking for is the forward test potentially on GBPAUD. The reason why it's a forward test is that I've only ever forward tested this pair once since starting Forexfundys, which was that banger here, but I would have actually rolled out at around 2% because it made it there before the Aussie CPI, and here's the reason why. So GBP and AUD have kind of close Forexfundys scores, however the difference lies within the data here. Let me show you. Okay, when you look at the most available COT data for the pound, what do we have here? Look at the longs. Look at people getting into the shorts. Look at the net positioning. Okay, so then we'll go to AUD, just like the video that we did last. Look at the longs. Look at the shorts. Look at the net. Okay, so then you have the quadrant positioning. Once again, top right being the real trend. This wasn't that significant. However, GBP on the bear side of things, bears piling on, there. So ideally, price sweeps all this liquidity, heads within this region here, gives us our breaks of structure, and then drops. GBPCAD can also be interesting. After sweeping Asia high, we've already had a false short right here. So this is something I can actually quite confident to actually take because I take CAD pairs sometimes. On the higher time frame, we swept this area from this 4-hour swing short that I was considering forward testing, but we just didn't have the move that I wanted. What I will do for GBPCAD is I'm going to place an alert right here because that would mean a significant break because it's just going up, right? See, don't get lost within this price range. This was a lot of M5 chop here, which you don't want to see, but it looks like AUD is heading towards some of these zones where it could long from. One of the negatives on AUD though is that I placed it here because it's one of the weakest pairs on the day. It could muster up some strength. Look at the euro compared to it. And look at the pound. The pound's showing a little bit of weakness, so we're just going to drop that down to second. You can honestly see a short coming from USD CAD around where it is right now, especially because they had a double false move. So look right here, false move, and this could be also a false move. So what you would need to break would be this right here. And GBPAUD has made it to the area. It looks like we're getting a big push on the US dollar, meaning that probably some sort of escalation's happening. And this is across the board. Look at this, look at this, look at this, this, and JPY basket's flying. All the safe havens are performing pretty strong today. So JPY basket's doing this, AUDCHF falling, NZD, CAD. And all that uncertainty is sending NAS to the floor, it seems. Obviously, after this sweep of liquidity, it was going to drop. Could probably react from one of these areas. Of course, on these tools don't show NAS and I don't trade NAS. I'm just testing it just in case Forex pairs are slow. I just got an alert on the break on GBPCAD. Let's see how it looks. That looks horrible. Nope, not interested. Look how choppy this is. You can argue, okay, that's a clean fair value gap, but I see this as a little bit choppy. Price could very well react from this inverse fair value gap right here.
No! 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 No!
Okay, so if that didn't look clean, where should I look for a break? Okay, so AUDUSD for the longs has smashed through these two zones, and it's in the last possible zone that I would look at longing from. There is a liquidity pool right over here that I would like to be swept if it's going to react from here. But again, we need a lot of momentum to the upside. Looks like we're getting a little reaction out of this zone here. Again, I'm not actually going to take this because I only have data off of one trade. Data off of one trade is not enough. However, so what I would look for on this GBP AUD trade, we tapped 191 big figure, is a close below this region here. And hopefully it looks good on the M15 and we're going to forward test this like we're actually in it. As for AUD reacting from this last zone here, why am I not really interested in it? Okay, look at this chart. Tell me what area I can confidently get a break of structure from. There is no area up until right here. Do I want to break structure and then think that pricing will come down and pop up?
This is probably going to be a no trade day, and I'm completely okay with that because I already had the winning Aussie trade 2 days ago. And on other currencies, there's no clear area to break as well. This is knife catching. When you don't even have structure to break and you're still looking at a trade, that's when you just get off. But because I'm going to be forward testing. Damn, we were right about GBP weakness though. GBPCAD did short. See, I literally glanced at it, but did nothing about it. On the M5, this would have been a banger. Times I have to say it. Fundys, weak GBP, strong CAD. Weak GBP, strong AUD. Look at this, inverse fair value gap now. So we got this, but we broke down pretty heavy. And look at AUD from that last possible region. It's showing some bullish intent. I have no idea really what was causing the weakness, but the importance of the liquidity sweep, knowing your area, that launches, that's beautiful price action. I won't be mad though because there's no actual break of structure. See, we've created this massive fair value gap here on the M3. Just have to wait on the 1045 close. This is going to be a forward test based off the technicals and the fundamentals. Our minimum area where we could enter is 714 because where the stop loss placed 3 pips above the high because the spread on this currency is a little bit more wild. Always making sure that when you're forward testing something that you replicate the exact conditions. For example, I'm not going to take this trade after 11 o'clock. If this closes below this fair value gap, then I would be happy to forward test this. And we closed below it, so I'm happy to forward test this, assuming price makes it up there. Let's see if this is going to be a miss or a hit.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Technically speaking, I actually did miss out on a great GBPCAD trade. And why was that? Okay, so in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that this could have been a false move right here. And I did not like the price action within here, which is super valid. However, when price actually broke down here, it broke pretty heavy. And the Andre rule that I mentioned in one of my previous videos, price was more than a stop loss away. We inverted this fair value gap here with this very great momentum. So a position like this could have been opened where you just targeted a 1 to 2, but obviously stop loss has to be above these highs here. 1 to 2, probably targeting within this internal low. This was a great trade that I completely dropped the ball on because I was focused on AUD USD. Okay, so we obviously did not get in this actual forward test, but price did move from the high time frame region that we talked about. You would have been missed though, waiting on the break of structure on the M3 and the M5. However, this case showcases exactly what I talked about in the last video. If we want to throw it back,
Maybe the GBP shorts happen later this week.
using high time frame regions, waiting on the reaction, and combining using our tools, trades like these are possible. I know that I obviously did not take this, and if I would have actually been interested, it would have missed me. However, another lesson here is staying focused and not getting distracted. So obviously I was looking at this and AUD USD. I knew AUD USD was not going to deliver a trade today because there was actual no break of structure on here. However, what I messed up on, so GBP CAD, obviously earlier in the video I said that on the M3 I did not like this structure at all, right? But what happened once this broke? What I should have done was place an alert right here. This was the M5, and if price broke this hard enough, and then combining everything that we know, the liquidity sweep, the hard break of structure, that M15 close, look at that. Being honest, I would have probably just caught that on one account because it just wicked into the area before dropping. But that's a fumble right there. It's a little lapse in judgment, just a little reminder to just stay focused during your session because I was not fully focused there. We all make mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
But I didn't lose any money from it. I just didn't gain any money. It is Thursday. By the time I upload this video, which is going to be on the Sunday, tomorrow is Friday when the new COT comes out. This trade, the GBPAUD Forward test as well, were based off of the recent COT, all the data that we have available, all the data we have on the Fundy score as well. It could very well change tomorrow when we get the new COT, but I cannot stress enough how important it is to match your technicals with fundamentals so you know, okay, GBP is going to become weak eventually, CAD's going to get strong eventually, AUD is probably going to get strong eventually, and just waiting for the technical side of things to actually set up. I hope that this is helpful for anyone watching, and have a stellar trading week. It has been your boy. Peace.